Hello everyone and welcome to my off-the-grid overview video for pre-island living. So with the free update we have been given the off-the-grid lot trait, which is awesome. I know a lot of people will be happy to have this in their game. So what does this trait do? Basically, it says this lot isn't connected to electricity or plumbing, meaning no utility bills either. Talk about natural living. So how does that affect our items? Well, I've gone through as many items as I can possibly think of that could be affected before the release of Island Living. And the reason why I've done this before it's released is so that anyone that doesn't already own the pack when it's released, or doesn't have chance to get the pack for a while, can see how this lot trait affects their game. And I will do another one if perchance they've added in anything new for Island Living, so I'll do that in a separate video. Right, but first of all, we're going to go have a look. Now, this is an absolute random mess. It may look like a mess, but it's semi-organised and I kind of know where everything is. And I've got my lovely sim self here and my beautiful sim dog, Toby, to demonstrate how some of these work. I mean, Toby's just come along for the ride, really, but I needed my sim self. So first of all, we have items like fridges and toilets, and showers and sinks. Now these are really important items because these ones are actually listed, certain ones are anyhow, as functional while off the grid. Now this is important because some of them, I was kind of a little bit baffled how can any shower work off the grid, but I will show you in a second how. But basically certain ones are, and I've tried to place them into categories because some people might not have all of the packs, and I haven't been able to do it with all the items, but I've done it with these. So here we've got the base game items, you've got the base game shower, you've got the base game bath shower, and base game toilet and sinks. So basically if we go into real world, when you click on this shower, which shouldn't work but does, you can take a quick and tepid shower. Basically, when she stops eating. I had to play out a day. Funny story. I was trying to set this up and I was testing things and it decided to throw a thunderstorm at me. So I had to build roofs, I had to repair all the electronics that I do have because they were all out in the open. But never mind. When she stops eating, because I was just taking care of her in between and it decided it was going to be sunny, she'll just go and test this shower for me. That's it. You leave a lovely pile of washing everywhere. So basically she will just get a very quick shower. Actually that's not so quick, she's actually staying in there, but I'm curious to see if she gets a moodlet from this or anything. Toby's not very happy about that shower. So while she's doing that, we've got some outdoor retreat items. Excuse me if I forget any of the names of the pack. Sometimes they do evade me. Oh, there we go. Warm-ish wash. Water was applied, but the lingering film and smell begs the question, is anything actually cleaner? So that is a result of having a shower. Well, a quick and tepid shower. And as you can see, when you try to take normal showers, it tells you that the plumbing doesn't work off the grid. Not sure if you can do upgrades because I haven't got any skills on this sim, but if that's something you want me to do as a video, then we'll test stuff like that out as well. That's fine. So toilets you can use, but certain ones say they are functional, which is unusual. So let's just get her to be. Now see, she managed to flush that one, and she's going to go use the sink. No, don't use the sink, dear. But if you go and use one that doesn't say functional while off the grid, she'll use it, but you can't flush it, which is gross. So I'm assuming that means that it's all just going to build up in there and you're going to have to clean it very regularly if you do use. So they do work as a toilet, you just can't flush anything away, which is kind of disgusting. Um, so we can quickly wash our hands and also quickly brush our teeth on these sinks, which is pretty cool. And I believe there's just no other function. You just can't wash your hands, you just can't normally brush your teeth, and you can't normally get water the same way the shower won't let you do all the normal functions. So we've got some vampire ones here. I'll have to have a look at these because some of them I've forgotten. We've obviously got the Strangerville shower and bath. I think these were random ones. So this is Laundry Day, if I've got that right. And this one is Dine Out, I believe. So when it comes to things like fridges, none of them actually say functional off the grid, which is bizarre because fridges technically are run on electric or what have you, or some means of power. So I think basically they've had to leave a fridge in, otherwise there's going to be an issue for your Sims getting food. Cookers, on the other hand, there's only a few that work. We've got the used one from City Living, the base game one, and the Old Crow wood burning cook stove, which is also base game, and the rest don't work. And basically how they've made this work is if you go to the fridge, you can have a quick meal, of course, but you can't do anything that requires a microwave because they are electric. Oh, I can't test pet recipes because we don't have enough cooking skill. Cooking a normal meal doesn't work because you don't have power off the grid. But things like garden salad and fruit salad are things that you can cook because, of course, they don't require the oven to prepare the food. Would you believe it? The game decided it was going to rain again. And then I realised, of course, you can turn the rain off in the options. Oh my word, I am so ditzy sometimes. It's unreal. I don't know how I function in life. But basically, so when you go to the oven to cook, these three that work, you can now choose the option to cook with gas, which allows you to cook at the minute, because she's got no cooking skill, grilled cheese and egg toast, and probably also because it's morning. But you can't obviously use the other cooking functions. And something that I forgot to mention was the showers that are over a bath. You can't take a bath. That's not allowed either, which means you can't bath your pet, which could prove troublesome. Not quite sure what Toby's up to there, but never mind. Things like all the electric stuff, like your coffee machines and things like that, obviously don't work either. So that's something to think about. Now, funnily enough, this bin, I would say, is electric. But for whatever reason, it still works. And so does the automatic pet feeder, which is quite cool. Because I would have thought that was maybe battery operated or something, but no, apparently not. So what do I know, hey? Over here we've got the grills. They all work, of course, because they're outdoors, and they're obviously charcoal or gas used, basically. Yeah, that. Things like your bowling alleys for recreation, even this slip and slide don't work because plumbing doesn't work off the grid. Apparently the sprinkler works even though you can't actually use it, so it's automatically sprinkling stuff with water. Oh, that's unusual. I didn't notice that before. So of course things like hot tubs don't work because they require plumbing, and yet bizarrely I've placed in this fountain because you can actually use it even though it's got water. So I suppose once you've filled it, it just recycles its own water, doesn't it? So maybe that's why. So we're going to move on to skill objects. Basically, you can use things like the bars and the crafting tables, of course, because none of these require electric, which is good because otherwise your Sims would be stuck to reading books. You can still use the logic table, but when it comes to things like these, like the chemical analyzer, and the veterinary table. You can't use those, unfortunately, nor can you use things like the music station or video table. And moving on to stereos. Now, the reason why I put this in, obviously it's an electronic item and it's not going to work. For whatever reason, they've actually taken out all the functions, so it doesn't even tell you, apart from if you hover over Sing Solo, that it doesn't work off the grid. So you can't listen to music through a stereo. However, if you get your sim a keyboard, you can listen to music, which is pretty cool. So you've still got a way to be able to listen to some music, which is awesome. Now, you can dance through this if you put the music on, but because you can't use a stereo, and this isn't classed as a stereo, you can't dance on a dance floor, which is kind of frustrating. But like I said, if you get the keyboard to play some music, let's put something chilled out on, let's put some classical on. If you put that on, wherever my sim self may be, there she is, she can now listen to that. Oh, what is she doing? No, don't go do that. So you can put that on, and then you can choose the option to dance, but as I said, it, for whatever reason, doesn't count it as a stereo, so you can't dance on there. Of course, all the musical items work. So your violins, your guitars work, apart from... Oh no, it just says skill. Sorry, I thought that was grayed out for a reason. But you can't use the DJ booths at all. Of course, because they are electric. Pianos work. Now this was a little one that I've placed in because it baffled me a little bit. Because this is an old-fashioned like gramophone, which to me, I wouldn't have thought was electric, but apparently it is. Maybe not. Sure, modern technology enables us to carry out entire music collections around in our pockets, but those tiny devices aren't as charming as your Grammy's music player. But yes, for whatever reason, that doesn't work, which I would have thought they could have made that one work because it's like an old fashioned item. So we've got these little items over here. We've got the camera, which does work because I've had my sim self take some photographs, and the digitalistic sketch pad also appears to work because I've had her doing a little sketch, and that also works, which is kind of cool, but would you not need to charge that? How bizarre. Which makes me wonder whether the tablets work, because obviously computers won't, but I was a little bit baffled by that one because I put it down expecting it not to work, but for whatever reason it does. So we could test the slablet, but I know the computers don't work at all. Oh my word. The slablet, wherever she's going, where are you going, dear? Where? Is she going to sit? Oh, she's gone to go sit on the fountain. Oh my word, you can use a tablet. You can't use the internet because the internet is off the grid. Doesn't work off the grid, sorry. But you can actually read an ebook, view a notebook, or play a game on the slablet. Oh, cool. I'm actually really glad I didn't miss that one because I almost did miss that one. Right, going over here. Sorry, a little slightly distracted there. The photo studio appears to work. You can change the backdrop and everything. And of course, with photos working, I'm assuming that means that this does work. I haven't tried taking a photo because it pops up to call someone over, and I've never had her do photography apart from those couple of little pictures. So that's that. Why have I placed the bed here, I wonder? Well, beds do work, of course, which makes sense because there's no power or anything required. But unfortunately, it does mean that the sleep pod doesn't work because that requires power. So that is why I've placed those in, because that one doesn't work at all. And we're just going to go over here because we've got a few little more skill items. Of course, your punch bags work and your weight machine works, and so does your yoga mat. unfortunately, unless you place a gym in your world and you've got this lot trait, you aren't going to be able to use your treadmills or your sparring buddy because they do require power to run. Oh my word, despite the fact that I got rain unchecked, it's just thrown a thunderstorm at me again, and I've just had to go around and repair some stuff. Right, carrying on with recreational stuff this time. We've got this Amazon style speaker, which is pretty cool. I just placed it in because I've actually never seen it before, but it doesn't work, unfortunately. You can mute it, but don't know what the point is really. The fish tanks, classed as a recreational item, you can use those to place in fish and such. You just can't use the lighting from it. Things like your foosball table work, of course, because these aren't electrical, so they're your source of fun. And this bubble machine, and this gaming mat doesn't work, unfortunately, which is a little bit of a shame. But it is electric, and nor does the listening device. And now this is a weird one. Since when is a washing machine a recreational item? I'm sorry, but if I have spare time, that is not what I would choose to do. But yeah, you can apparently. Oh, you can't. You can't do anything with it. Well, apparently you can unload and set laundry down. There's no washing in there. But it obviously doesn't work, so you're going to have to stick to your wash tub for that. This Llama Table. Nope, we've done that one. The sauna doesn't work. But now this is a weird one. Because this does actually work. In a sense of it's lit up, the screen works and everything. But it doesn't have functionality. So how bizarre is that? But it does technically look like it has power. So I'm not really sure what's happening there. Okay, moving on to lighting. It appears that candles are the only ones that really work. There's lots here from various different packs. I'm not going to go through all of the packs with you, but we've got a few from Seasons here, and a few base game ones, vampire ones and base game ones, and what have you. But I do want to point out the ones that I feel should work that don't. And that is, these three here all have candles. Fair enough, they work. This one's deceiving. They're not real candles. I don't know why I've placed that in. They're not real candles. Tamz, what are you doing? But it could be deceiving. You could think that they are. And I did for a moment. But that's why that one doesn't work. But this one here, I personally... Sorry, my camera's going to jump around between the floors, which is going to get annoying. This one, this rustic chandelier from Jungle Adventure, personally I think should work, but it doesn't. So I think that's one they need to fix. Because it's a candle. They're candles and they should work. Another thing, actually, before we move on, is your fans don't work. Which is kind of frustrating because nor does your thermostat. So good luck keeping cool in summer if you want to live off the grid. It's going to be a very warm lifestyle. And I'm assuming nor does your smoke alarm. But getting back to... I've got distracted there, I do apologise. Getting back to the lighting that doesn't work. So this is the only wall lamp that works, and this is the only one with candles I could find. Except for this one here. Now I can't move too close to it because my camera's going to jump around, but that has a candle in it, and it's just a lantern on a pole. So for me, I think that one should work, but it doesn't. And that goes for a few of these. This here is just a simple Citronella candle, and yet for whatever... Oh, that one does work. No, sorry, I do apologise. That one you have to turn on, which is fine. I didn't realise that. That's probably because it's a Citronella candle. And the same goes for these ones over here. Now it makes sense. However, these three are lanterns. And I have no idea... I'm going to check that one now. I have no idea why these ones do not work. Because to me... good girl. To me, these should work. The only one that I've placed in for a reason is because it's quite deceiving. This one and this one, no idea why they shouldn't work. In my eyes, they should. The lanterns, they're not connected by power. They should work. But this one here is deceiving because it's a 3 senses oil lamp. And that would make you think that it should work. But if you actually look at the description, it says, handcrafted in the artisan tradition, this electric powered lamp casts the same flickering lamplight. So that is the one that I guess shouldn't work, but may look like it should. But I am a little bit disappointed. I'm really glad that those do work. I can't believe I've just randomly noticed that, because when you go to place them down, they have a light. Oh, actually, those ones don't. Fair enough. Majority of them have a light when you go to place them, but then as soon as you place it, the light disappears, as you can see. So it can look like something's going to work, and then it doesn't. But that's all that I could find for the time being. Of course, I haven't tested any of the toddler, child or teen items, anything specific to them. Teens not so much, maybe more toddler and child. So if you'd like me to do a video on those as well, do let me know in the description, in the comments section below, and I will endeavour to do that. And of course, when Island Living is released, I'm recording this Thursday night, so it will be released tonight, but unfortunately I have to go to college in the morning, so I can't stay up to play it, or download it, unfortunately, and I can't play it until I get back from college. But if anything is added in that is related to Off the Grid and things like that, then I will do an additional video for those items. But I just wanted to make sure that this one was pre-Island Living, so that anyone that doesn't own the game can see how this Off the Grid trait, lot trait, affects their game. So just to clarify that. But yes, if there's anything you think I have missed and would like to know more on, do let me know and I will do another video. I really hope that you found this video helpful. I know some of it was a little bit obvious, the electronic items, but I wanted to show you what they did and the fact that, you know, some functions aren't working, like the stereo, but yet you can listen to music on the keyboard, for example, and you can dance on the keyboard but you can't dance on the dance floor. How bizarre. But yeah, little things like that I just wanted to clarify, and I hope you did find it useful. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, please subscribe if you want to be notified of new videos. Please leave a comment. All comments are welcome and I always reply as soon as I can. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.